I think we have gathered together after a long time.
Yes.
So what today we are not going to have a meeting one, today we have a workshop that is problem-based learning. I hope that everybody, every teacher is aware about the problem. We have lot of problems. Yes?
Yes.
But our daily task is to overcome that problem. There is no excuse that the problem will not persist for a longer time and we have to resolve the problem. So why I have said that we have too many problems? Because we have too many children, students we have. That's why there will be a different types of the problem, and this one is a quite different things to solve a problem. Like a mathematics problem, solve this question. That one is not only this thing. Problem-based learning. You have to create the problem for the students and they should able to answer it according to the given situation. That is the basic for the problem solving learning. I will add that one. This one is a problem based learning and teaching also should be there. So now directly I am coming to this point. Yes, next one. What is this? What you take I impress? Everybody's reaction will be this one. Either the notice came for the workshop was this one. So everybody has this one now. Today, every time we have, because we are of that type, first question arises and then we will search for the proper answer of the question. So this figure tells us a lot of things. Problem-based learning. What is? It's not a new thing. We are familiar about the problems and we are familiar about the base, what is the basis of the problem, and problem will always come, but we have to find out the base of the problem and then try to resolve that one. पेड़ बहुत बड़ा होता है, we are watering in the bottom or the roots that will given to all the things that we will able to preserve that one and it will develop according to that one. Definition of BPL. So how many short words we will have? Lot of full forms are there. So again every day a short form is added. BPL. And instructional student center approach. Either we are applying this approach to our class or not. I think most of the teachers are more convenient in the teacher-centered teaching. Learning is there. But it should be student-centered. What is the meaning of a student-centered? That you have to come to the student and try to resolve their problems. That is called the student-centered approach. And teacher is not a new thing. They are included in the student one. Teacher is also a student. Uses carefully. The word carefully makes a person mature. Construct the clinical problem as a contest for students to define their learning needs. If a teacher is able to know the need of their student, their teaching will be having a less effort should be there. If अगर हम जान जाएं कि हमारे बच्चों में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, then we will able to solve it easily. Needs conduct self-directed inquiry. That one is missing from the students. Inquiry. Who is stopping this inquiry behavior from the student? We, the elders one. Don't talk much. Don't ask question. Otherwise, you will face some problem. Integrate theory and practice. These two things are different now for us. Theory is different thing, but the practical is totally different. While having taking the, what I'm just going to the example of the ours one. At the time of joining the school, we have a lot of lists that we will do this. But actually we are doing that. So that's why the theory and the practical are different for that. And we are appointed here to guide or to teach the students. Either we are doing that one, practically we are satisfying our students and the management or not. And the major part that we are satisfying ourselves with our responsibility or not. and apply knowledge and skills to develop a solution to a defined problem. Whenever the problem is not defined, there is no chance to be resolution of that problem. So first of all, the teacher's task or a subject teacher task is to get to the actual problem, and it should be solved in a defined manner. The manner should not be vague one. जैसे होता है ना, एक डांट के हम लोग चुप करा देते हैं, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गई, चुप रहो. That is not the solution of the problem. That will have a burst after some time. So whenever you get the time, you have to resolve the problem as soon as possible in a defined manner. Yes, next one. Yes, a lot of list is there. The case serves as a stimulus. What is a stimulus? You are aware about the stimulus? It is a situation based something is given to that. That is called the stimulus. Getting started, the case, you have to first identifying the problem, generate rank and hypothesis, explain mechanism. Abhi ek problem today, a problem ke some problem, I am not going to discuss that problem. What will be the way to resolve that problem? We have to get to the root of the problem, why this happens and what to do that one. And for that one, we have to make a plan one. Either the problem, one line I will hit that we have to call some parents. Then the next plan is for the next day or the day after tomorrow, whenever you have the time, and try to discuss the problem with the concerned student. Then it can be resolved. And the problem cannot be advertised. That should not be discussed in a group. And the next one is ask questions, predict assessment, answers. Question आपको पूछना है और answer predict करना है. You have to be supposed to be, you are expected to get these answers and this answer also, because this one is not a examination na, that this answer is right, this answer is wrong, but you have the expectation that you will get any new answer for that situation. So you have to be ready for that. Get new information. And if you want to resolve actually the problem, you have to collect the new information to get the suggest one to the other people concerned, that either you have faced this problem anywhere, how you have resolved that one. That will help to resolve the current problems. Decision and action plan. Then before coming to the actual presentation of the problem solving, you have to have a clear-cut plan in your mind that what we have to do that one after this. If this one is the result, I have to give this answer. If this one is the possible chances, then this will be the proper answer. You don't have the time to think at that moment. You have to prepare yourself while coming to the school. Each and everybody, either the teacher or the students, prepare themselves. That's how to reach the school and how to teach the classes. Yes, next one. That one is the problem based. Unless or until we want to avoid all the problems, but the problems will come, and we don't have to speak about the problems. That everybody is concentrating on a mistake of an individual. That should be avoided. Like one example seen everybody in a masjid, अगर एक मोबाइल बज जाए, जितने लोग हैं सब लोग बेचारे को avoid it, यार. That's maybe the case everywhere. So don't concentrate the things which is not of your use. Move ahead. What is the problem based learning? Yes, that question. What is the problem based learning and how does it differ from problem solving? In this one, why this one is different one? Because we have to consider the clinical aspect of the student also. In this school, we have some students, they have there some other problems than the classroom teaching. So I think the teachers are, most of the teachers are dealing with their students. That one is called the problem based. That they will not be taught like the other student. Some extra efforts you have to make. Without knowing the history, you will not able to overcome that problem. Like in the examination, we are taking the exam of some of the students separately. What is the reason? That is everybody is aware why they are giving the preference for that one. Yes, next one. Problem solving versus problem based learning. Different but interrelated. And हमारे लिए तो कोई भी चीज related ऐसा नहीं है कि interrelated नहीं है हमारे लिए. Each and everything is interrelated for the field of the education, where there is a process of teaching and learning. Each and every aspect is interrelated. You cannot ignore one aspect. Next one. Problem solving. Problem to, you will not be sure that the problem will never come. Today I have solved this problem. Next day no problem. A new problem will always come. तो सबसे अच्छा है कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व ही ना करें, नया आएगा ही. Yes or not? नहीं, प्रॉब्लम जमा होगा, and that you will not able to solve together too many problems. Like that one, we have the habit of the Indian mentality is there कि यार रहने तो कल करेंगे, and everybody knows कल never comes. So the things will gathered with you, and you will not able to resolve that one. Yes, next one. Everywhere we are talking about the previous knowledge, prior knowledge. Before appointing a teacher, what the management check? Their previous knowledge. Why this previous knowledge? Because on the basis of the previous knowledge, you will able to form the new knowledges, or you will be able to give it to the others one. Problem based learning, the process of acquiring new knowledge based on the recognition of a need to learn. अगर हम बच्चों में अपनी नीड डेवलप कर दें एक और पढ़ाई के लिए, तो टीचर्स का टास्क इजी हो जाता है. Every time we are facing the problem that the students doesn't have any aim. That's why the problems are more in terms of the academics one. And one thing, the physics law is there, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. But is there, but it can be transferred from one form to another. So that one is not in our hand. We will not able to create energy. We will not able to destroy energy, but we can transform to other form. If any student is not concentrating in his or her studies, he or she will do some other mischiefs or the other things. That's everybody every day we are experiencing that one. So this one is the problem solving, only problem solving, and this one is problem based learning is there. So the minor difference is there. Yes.
That's much
Start.
very.
Dunia goal hai. We have to come to that one. Again, one day we are starting a work, moving to that one and resolving that one, and after again we are next day at the starting point. So the first thing is problem pose. Next one is identify what we need to know. क्या हमें जानना है. Next one is learn it. What is the meaning of to learn anything? You have to make a small research for the problem and why the problems happen and what was the history behind it. Then you will able to know that one. After कुछ students के साथ क्या होता है कि they are doing any mischief, and after getting to the history of the students, whatever we want to take decision, we are taking back our decision because maybe some problem is coming. A day, I think 3 or 4 days before a thing is happening with the students, then I have told to the concerned teacher, suspend this student. But after getting to that history one, I have to take back my decision because some family problem was there. So we have to be aware about that one. We should have a little bit research for that one. Then only that one is called the problem based learning. जैसे एक दिन अगर हम सो के नहीं आते हैं तो क्या हमारा परफॉर्मेंस उतना अच्छा रहता है?
नहीं.
That is the problem. So, but we are not going to get the excuse of that. But here you are getting the relaxation of while going to the picnic one or the excursion one. You are getting a 2 or 3 hours relaxation. So that's I think that's a good part from you. You are getting that one some good things from. Subject-based learning, that's the same thing. I'm just going to repeat it once again. Problem solving there, start is there, told what we need to know, and given problem to illustrate how to use, because learning is every time is necessary for that one, either from the part of the student or the teacher's one. क्योंकि हम अपने आप को अलग नहीं कर सकते, we cannot separate ourselves as a student. So that's the case now. From the life of the 3 years till the death, we will be a student and teacher. So the task is quite difficult, but it can be. It's not impossible. You can. Yes, it's a lot of things are there. The differences are there. Problem solving, traditional discipline base, what we are following in our school. Integrated. What is the meaning of integrated? Mathematics will have able to know, give the answer of that one. Integration there. Is a combination ना. Integrate करने के बाद क्या होता है? चीजों की value बढ़ जाती है. Yes, power increase. And if you have a power x square, while you integrate that function, it will become x to the power 3. X cube will become. So that's why the value increases if you integrate that one. If you take the ideas of the others one, your task will be easily done. Preparatory learning prior to exposure to that problem. This one is the necessary part before going to the problem. You have to aware about the pre things, what are the reasons for that one. Without advanced reading, the problem comes first without advanced reading lectures or preparation that we are facing sometimes. If we are coming to the classes without preparing the lecture, we definitely. The staff set the problems, case history problems in a primary lecture based format, and students attempt to resolve them using previously taught circular content, curricular content. हम क्या करते हैं? Question paper का pattern है. Now the CBSE has planned to change the type of the questions. The question will be of innovative type. You have to give the situation to that one, and the students will solve according to their knowledge, previous knowledge, and their ability to solve that. अच्छा, एक प्रॉब्लम अगर आपको दिया जाए तो सबका सॉल्यूशन एक ही होगा. हाँ, अगर आप इंडिपेंडेंटली करेंगे. बट नाउ these days, every day we are copying and pasting. Yes, we are not using our minds. We are saving it for the future. But the mind is the one organ which is not to be saved. Use of that should not be saved. How much you will use, that will increase. इसको बेटा. Pre-clinical phase. Yes, I am coming to the actual, the problem-based students. So now that government has given that all type of students will study together. Previously we have the different school for the differently able student, but now it's a rule comes, law comes that all the students will study with the other good students. So that's why we have to be aware about that one. School cannot neglect the admission of any of the students. If anybody is coming to your school, you have to admit him according to his or her level. You cannot deny admission to anyone, either he is differently disabled or any dementia or whatever the too many diseases are there. So you have to know the preclinical before going to the doctor. That everybody does this one, na? What we have to say with the doctor's one, and what is the case there. Doctor always asks what is the past history, and now they will ask for the genetic problems is there in your family or not. That we have to do also for this one. That is called the preclinical phase and clinical phase. That takes this much time, and we doesn't have that time. That is the main difficult part for a teacher and for the school, because this type of students requires more time. Acquire background knowledge of the basis science. Scientific base पे आपको acquire knowledge करना. What is that one? Either there is a family problem, And I think in Bhiwandi most of the families have the problem that why the students' education is affected by that. So we have to be also aware about that one कि दूसरे के घर में झांकना पड़ेगा, हमारे अपने बच्चों को घर में झांकना पड़ेगा. Okay, like that. What will that way should be scientific, not be the social way. That should be scientifically how we have to deal that one. And this clinical phase comes for 4 to 6 years. Then it can be corrected. Apply this knowledge to the diagnosis and management of the clinical problems. और एक सबसे बड़ा जो रेजिस्टेंस आता है फैमिली से, अगर आप किसी के बच्चे के बारे में कहेंगे यू हैव टू बी विद द काउंसलर, तो दे विल से दिस वर्ड, मेरा बच्चा पागल नहीं. वी आर कंफ्यूज अबाउट द काउंसलिंग एंड द मैडनेस because this problem increases after the COVID-19. Because all the things, whatever that happen, I'm not going into the details one, why this one is happened, this one. But now, these days we are experiencing this one, that this problem are very high in the students one, either the small kids. Next one. Traditional approach has been criticized for a number of reasons. आप सीधे किसी से पूछेंगे आपके घर में कोई इस तरह की बीमारी थी तो पहले तो चिल्लाएगा वो, हाँ? तो this one is the answer. Many existing curricula fails to meet the needs of the current and future doctors. Why I have taken this example as a doctor's one? Because everybody is aware we are facing that one. अगर हम उनको कायदे से नहीं बताएंगे कि जुकाम भी है, खांसी भी है, बुखार भी है, बदन दर्द है, सर दर्द है, otherwise we will not going to get the proper medicine for that. It creates an artificial divide between the basic and the clinical sciences that we are experiencing. गार्जियन से हम ये कह रहे हैं पेरेंट्स से कि ये केसेस हैं आपके पास, but they are not recognizing that one. And we have a counselor also. We are sending this type of students to the counselor, and some positive results we are finding in some of these. And this counselor is the basis of this one, problem-based learning and teaching there. It is that person is a bridge between the student and the teacher, because the teacher doesn't have these ideas, all the things of the whatever the clinical problems and the mental. I'm not saying the mental one, then mental deficiency is there that they will able to recognize. And what the counselor are doing, you have any experience of that one? Any teacher have the experience with emotions or while dealing with your student? On what basis they are getting the results or the inferences are drawn? By asking the questions to the child and their parents. Without having the question answer session with the parents, no assessment can be done for a student. And teachers are also involved to that one. Is getting the pre-knowledge from the teachers, how he is behaving, how he is answering, how he is sitting in the class, what is his posture, what is her posture, that all the history should be there. Time is wasted. तो हम लोग बहुत कहते हैं ये चीज टाइम वेस्ट है. टाइम वेस्ट नहीं है, वी आर द वेस्ट. We have to come up to the mark to the time one. दुनिया में ये एक चीज है that is not going to wait for anyone or anything. It will always move in its cycle. Nobody can stop. If it will stop, then nothing is to be discussed there. No? Nothing will left to discuss there. Subsequently forgotten to found to be the irrelevant. This acquisition for retention of the information that has no apparent relevance can be boring and even demoralizing for a student. तो मिलता है ना, गार्जियन कहते हैं कि आप लोग हम लोगों को बुलाते हैं बेइज्जत करने. Yes, these words we are hearing because when we are giving the correct suggestion to the parents that if you will do this thing, your child will be corrected after 2 or 3 years. But they are not ready to do that one. And after a certain age, that these remedies cannot be corrected. Because when their mind settlement is fixed on, that is quite difficult to change that one. Then medicines are required and lot of therapy will be there, then it can be corrected. Course material is now we came to the disadvantage what the problems actually we are facing here. I will share the PPT. No need to. You will get the order. Course material is usually systems based integration of basic and clinical science. कुछ बेसिस होते हैं कि नहीं, जैसे एक होता है ना कि मेरा एक होना चाहिए कि मैंने कहा नहीं सही है तो आपको करना ही करना. That discussion should be there. That difference is there. We have to overcome that difference. We have to first get the opinions of the person who is involved into that one and also the surroundings of the student. एक वर्ड कहा जाता है हमारे लोगों में कि मेरा बच्चा तो अच्छा है लेकिन उसके साथ रह के खराब. हम अपने बच्चे को नहीं कह रहे हैं खराब, बट द बेसिक इज कि हमारा बच्चा भी खराब है तभी खराब के साथ रहेगा. अगर वो अच्छा होता तो खराब वाले को अच्छा क्यों नहीं बना लिया यार? क्यों खराब के साथ खराब हो गया? जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं ना कि अपनी गलती दूसरे के ऊपर डालते हैं. कि और सबसे बड़ी चीज होती है ना कि यू हैव टू टेक द कोऑपरेशन. यस्टरडे वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट लॉट ऑफ द थिंग्स विद द कोऑपरेटिव लर्निंग, एंड एवरी टाइम एवरीवेयर द cooperation is needed. The stimulus will change for that one, but that cooperation should be required. देखिए, how you will able to recognize that one, that any of your student has this type of deficiency. Normal body structure and function. On the basis of the body structure and how it functions, you will able to recognize. Primarily, you will able to recognize the clinical features, diagnosis and management of the common CVDs. ये एक मेडिकल टर्म है, क्लिनिकल विजुअल डिफिशिएंसीज. ये बात क्या है? ये तो हम रिकॉग्नाइज कर सकते हैं ना, एक स्टूडेंट को देख के हम कह सकते हैं ना ये और बच्चों से हटके, इतना तो वी कैन रिकॉग्नाइज. Furthermore, they learn to take a relevant clinical history and to physically examine the CVs. दोनों एग्जामिनेशन होगा, उसकी क्लिनिकल हिस्ट्री भी निकालनी होगी. दैट वी हैव टू गो टू द लॉन्ग हिस्ट्री फॉर दैट वन, और फिर आपको वो चीज़ें कर सकते हैं. विदाउट नोइंग द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द पेशेंट और द दिस टाइप ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स यू विल नॉट एबल टू केयर दैट. Knowledge is acquired. Why is the necessary? Those person is going to deal this type of students, or the person he or she, we must have the knowledge of that one. Otherwise, no, we cannot deal the fully with that one. We can recognize that one and can help. Knowledge is acquired in context and builds on what is already known. उस बच्चे से क्या करते हैं? मौसम सर को देखा है किसी ने? पूछते हैं, डिफरेंट चीज़ों को ट्विस्ट करके पूछते हैं. एक ही चीज को कई तरीके से पूछा जाता है. Then we are there coming to the concrete assessment and concrete results should be given. Phrases should be given. Student continually explore their knowledge, identify both their personal learning needs and strategies required to address them. The process helps to develop skill and lifelong process. क्या चीज़ें हैं? इसको अगर हम उससे लेके आए अपने उससे कि स्टूडेंट को कोई प्रॉब्लम दे दीजिए कि इसको सॉल्व करना है, आपको भी अगर दे दिया जाए तो क्या आपका वो बढ़ेगा कि आप क्या सोचेंगे? You will take as a challenge or take as a burden or take as a waste of time. If you will take as a burden, you will not be able to do that one. If you will take as a challenge one to solve the problem, and I think अगर किसी का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करके जितनी खुशी मिलती है कभी नहीं मिलती. So that we have to solve the problems of the student. We should give the situation to the problem. The problem should be given to the student and try to get their solution. What they are suggesting that. Sometimes we are getting the new idea and the very good things we are getting that. Efficiency and advantages of problem based learning. क्या क्या advantages हैं? Again we are coming to the team work. बगैर टीम के कोई वर्क नहीं. That's never possible. Next thing is sharing a group. ये सबसे बुरा प्रॉब्लम है और बगैर इसके you will not able to do the things properly. कभी नहीं होगी. कहीं भी होना है, जहाँ भी 3 लोग हुए, 3 में से एक लीडर तो बनाना ही पड़ेगा. आपके रिलीजन ने भी कहा है, हर जगह कहा गया है, और एक्चुअली में वो करना ही पड़ेगा, वरना 3 लोग 3 तरफ जाएंगे, कोई काम नहीं। सो दैट इज द नेसेसरी वन। ये लिसनिंग, आज तो प्रॉपर लिसनिंग हो रही है ना, एवरीबडी इज लिसनिंग प्रॉपरली। सो दिस वन इज द बेसिक वन टू नो द प्रॉब्लम। जैसे गार्जियन कहते हैं ना कि हम लोग जाते हैं स्कूल में, बट कोई सुनता ही नहीं, सिर्फ सुनाते हैं, है ना, ये प्रॉब्लम, ये शिकायत, आई एक्सपीरियंस दिस वन, तो सुन लो ना यार। लेकिन डिसएडवांटेज में हम बात करेंगे, उसकी क्या डिसएडवांटेज है। रिकॉर्डिंग आजकल बहुत बड़ा चल रहा है, कॉल लोग रिकॉर्ड करके उसको अपने हिसाब से मैनिपुलेट करके दूसरे को कर सकते हैं ना। लेकिन अगर एक चीज़ देखिए, एक प्रॉब्लम क्या खड़ी होती है रिकॉर्डिंग में, अगर आपने शुरू से लेके आखिर तक नहीं रिकॉर्ड किया है, आफ्टर दैट यू विल हैव द प्रॉब्लम। हमको क्या है, किसी को अगर फंसाना है तो क्या करेंगे, अपना तो गलत बोल लो, मत रिकॉर्ड करो, दूसरे ने जैसे ही स्टार्ट किया, ऑन कर दिया, फंस गया हो, क्योंकि दैट पर्सन विल नॉट गोइंग टू फेस दैट वन, विल एबल टू डिफेंड दैट, नहीं होगा ना, क्योंकि सारे लोग यही कहेंगे कि वो तो रिकॉर्डेड बोल रहे हैं आपको ऐसा। लेकिन प्रीवियस हिस्ट्री आपको जाननी पड़ेगी कि क्यों ये आया। या अक्सर केसेस आते हैं, पुलिस के बाद भी ये केसेस आते हैं कि बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, कॉल रिकॉर्ड कर लेते हैं, बाद में उसको एज एविडेंस यूज करते हैं, लेकिन उससे एक आस्पेक्ट उसका छुप जाता है। अभी अगर आपको किसी गार्जियन से बात हो रही है, गार्जियन क्यों बोला खराब, तो पहले वाला आस्पेक्ट तो हम छुपाएंगे ना, वो तो मेरे पास नहीं लाएंगे ना कि मैंने भी ये कहा था। So that should be there. We have to be aware about these things. Cooperation. Without cooperation of the person, related person, or the individual or the students, nothing can be resolved. Respect for. हम लोग कहते हैं ना कि हमें तो नहीं मिलता है रिस्पेक्ट, क्या we are giving the respect? Yes. Respect क्या है क्या? रिस्पेक्ट है कि जो बात कही जाए सही टाइम पे हो जाना चाहिए। रिस्पेक्ट ये नहीं कि बार बार आप सलाम करें, एक हो सकता है, एक मोड है, एक टाइम विश होना चाहिए, दैट्स द गुड थिंग। लेकिन आप सिर्फ कह दें कि हाँ हाँ सब हो जाएगा, आपने जो कहा दैट इज ऑल 100% सही है, सही है, अब बैक में जाके क्या है, नहीं। इफ यू थिंक्स दैट समथिंग योर बॉस इज सेइंग इज रॉन्ग वन, डोंट ऑब्जेक्ट टू द at that moment, point one, if you get the time, just discuss colleague views. सबका व्यू जानना जरूरी है। पॉसिबल है क्लासरूम में सबका व्यू जानना? हाँ, टाइम लगे, लेकिन निकाल सकते हैं। कभी कभी वी आर गेटिंग द टाइम टू गेट द व्यूज ऑफ द अदर्स वन। आज जैसे मिला आपसे टाइम, तो वी कैन टेक द व्यूज, लेकिन व्यूज देने में हम डरते हैं। यस, तो जब हम डरते हैं व्यू देने में, तो क्या स्टूडेंट से एक ही इंस्टेंस में सही व्यू मिल जाएगा? दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। वी हैव टू गेट टू द पॉइंट एंड गेट टू द पर्सन और द सिचुएशन टू गेट द एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम। क्रिटिकल इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ द लिटरेचर। अगर क्रिटिक्स नहीं होगी, कोई अगर आपको क्रिटिसाइज करने वाला नहीं है, तो देयर इज नो चांस ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट। लोग कहते हैं ना कि हम तो अच्छा करते हैं, लेकिन लोग कहते रहते हैं, और लोग कहेंगे किसको? लोगों का काम है तो कहना ही है ना। एक है ना कि एक शेर है बहुत अच्छा कि अपनी गलती मत ढूंढ, गलती ढूंढने को लोग तो है ना, क्यों टाइम वेस्ट करें अपनी गलती ढूंढने में? गलती तो दूसरे बता देते, डेफिनेट वन। और सही फ्रेंड वही है जो गलती आपको सही टाइम पे सही जगह पे बताए, पब्लिकली नहीं, सही जगह पे बताए। सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड लर्निंग एंड यूज ऑफ रिसोर्सेज। सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड लर्निंग क्या है? हाउ यू विल टेक? आई थिंक अगर आप किसी ने बीएड किया होगा या एमए में बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स किए होंगे, रिसर्च पेपर किया होगा, तो उसमें ये चीजें आई हैं। दैट इज देयर, बीएड में तो है। सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड लर्निंग क्या है कि अपना बच्चों में हाउ यू विल डेवलप सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड लर्निंग। पहले तो सबसे पहले फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे शुड हैव द प्रॉपर एम। एम क्या हो सकता है? लॉन्ग टर्म भी एम हो सकता है, शॉर्ट टर्म एम भी हो सकता है। हमारा एम क्या है? रोज का रोज एम होना चाहिए कि आज वॉट एवर द क्लासेज आई हैव, आई विल टीच देम प्रॉपरली। That is the short term range is there. सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड लर्निंग अगर हो गई कि हाँ कुछ बच्चे सुबह आते हैं दे आर स्टडिंग बट मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर प्लेइंग बिफोर द एग्जामिनेशन द स्टूडेंट्स हु आर रिवाइजिंग देयर कोर्स दैट वन इज सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड देयर इज नोबडी टू से दैट वन कि आप जाइए पढ़िए इन द क्लासेस टीचर इज ऑलवेज सेज दैट वन एंड दिस वी हैव टू बिल्ड अप इन द स्टूडेंट्स or from the part of the employees and the teachers it is also required a self directed learning should be there. जैसे होता है ना कि कभी कभी क्लासों से मिलने मेरा या मैनुअल भी इसका होता है गुस्सा लग जाता है कि बार बार बताने के बाद यू आर नॉट डूइंग दैट बिकॉज यू आर नॉट डायरेक्टिंग योरसेल्फ. If you are directing to the problem one, the similar problems can be tackled by you alone. क्या है प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स. ये डर नहीं होना चाहिए कि जैसे होता है ना कि if anything is given to a group, one task is given, if it is given a voluntary one, anybody can come and start that one. Nobody is ready to come back. Everybody will force the others one. तुम जाओ तुम जाओ तुम जाओ. That is the case for everyone here. Students में वही cases हैं. अगर we are saying कि anybody is coming, just I am going to the class one and asking any question, nobody replies. If I point out you have to answer, then they are answering. But by their own, they are not coming to answer that. This habit we should develop in students. First of all, we have to develop in ourselves to come forward and give the answer. So, because we are hesitant, कि यार कहीं गलत ना हो जाए, लोग हंसेंगे और लोग गलती पे ही हंसेंगे. सही पे तो कोई नहीं हंसेगा, सही पे तो लोग चुप हो जाएंगे हैरत. क्योंकि एक कॉमन एग्जांपल है ना, कोई रास्ते में गिर जाता है तो अल्टीमेटली हमारे चेहरे पे हंसी आ जाती है जबकि उसको तकलीफ होती है. लेकिन एक हमारी अपब्रिंगिंग इसी तरह से हुई है. बचपन से वी आर सीइंग दिस वन. कोई बच्चा साइकिल से गिरा तो सब हंसते हैं. तो दैट शुड नॉट बी देयर. वी हैव टू चेंज अवर एडवांटेजेस ऑफ PBL. Advantages we have learned that one learning and teaching is more enjoyable. Enjoyable होगी ना, फिर periods हमको 35 मिनट से ज़्यादा 45 मिनट करना पड़ेगा. But this one, the basic disadvantage in this learning is it requires more time. The learning environment is more stimulating and more human. Stimulating क्या है कि it is easy that the students will get कि हाँ मैंने किया है. Everybody has having the self confidence ना after completing a work. I have done without anybody's help. तो self वो मिलता है. So that is, this thing is also giving that. The learning environment is more stimulating and more human. That's one. Self-directed learning, again we are coming to the self-directed learning. Promotes deeper rather and superficial learning. What is superficial? Anybody has heard this word? Super का मतलब क्या?
It's not giving extra knowledge, just
अच्छी होगी, बहुत अच्छी होगी. Superficial and new idea is coming in the field of the education and the learning one. एक घिसा पिटा process नहीं होगा. That will be a new one. That is solved easily. Promotes interaction between students and faculty. This we have now. We have the interaction with the student, and now we are coming to the annual function is coming. Now the more interaction between the student and the teacher. These things are called the problem-based learning. The students who are unable to perform good in academics one, they will perform very well during the annual function and the other activities. These things is also a part of the teaching and learning. We cannot avoid this one because with the activities they will learn more easily. The syllabus will become student friendly, but that will be also enjoyable now or not. Annual function के नाम पे खुशी होनी चाहिए कि मुंह गिरना चाहिए. And again everybody is thinking first instance will be there, काम तो बढ़ जाएगा. Promotes inter-departmental collaboration, particularly between basic and the clinical scientific. अच्छा एनुअल फंक्शन के टाइम में कॉपरेशन बढ़ा कि नहीं बढ़ा? CBSE टू MSP, MSP टू कॉलेज. सब बढ़ा कि नहीं बढ़ा, इंक्रीज हुआ कि नहीं हुआ. So these activities are giving us the chance to be in the problem based learning also. अब हमें प्रॉब्लम है, वी आर, यहाँ एक चीज़ काफ़ी अच्छी लगती है कि एक टाइम टेबल बनाते हैं तो वी हैव टू कंसीडर कि मुनीरा मिस का ना गड़बड़ हो जाए, वी हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ दैट वन. पता चला दे वी आर करेक्टिंग दैट वन, मैनूर मिस का गड़बड़. So all the things, but I think at last all the things are correct. So we can do it, but while talking this one, every time we are approaching to the other section, teachers also, मैम आप कर लीजिए ना, ये चीज़ नहीं हो रही है हमसे, आप कर लीजिए. But we are, हम अलग अलग हैं, but ultimately we are NNS. Yes ना, that's one is the thing ना. Yes, disadvantages चाहिए, that will be, everybody recognize that. ये मैनेजमेंट के पार्ट से होगा, कॉस्ट. Yes, that requires a lot of other things. Cost is required. उनके लिए कुछ और भी चाहिए. Teaching aids are required for that one. With significant startup to maintain the cost. That will be a problem for that one. Next one is demanding of staff time. आपके मन की बात है. Stressful for students and staff. Stress बढ़ जाएगा क्योंकि जब वर्कलोड बढ़ेगा, टाइम बढ़ेगा तो बढ़ेगा. Students acquire less knowledge of basic sciences. बेसिक जो होगा उससे हटेंगे क्योंकि बाकी बच्चों की लर्निंग जो है अफेक्ट होगी उस पर, अगर अब वो चीज़ हम लाएंगे. मे बी डिफिकल्ट टू इम्प्लीमेंट व्हेन क्लास साइज आर लार्ज. आएगा फर्स्ट सेकंड वाले तो सीधे कहेंगे कि हम लोग कैसे करेंगे, एट द लार्ज क्लास, बिग क्लासेस आर देयर, एंड अगेन द केस विल बी कमिंग फॉर द 11th 12th also. So these are the things are found in that one. If anything has 10 advantages, at least it will have 4 disadvantages. I think go through it rapidly. Because this one is a rapid change, na? So you have to go it rapidly. Too much debates. ऐसा क्यों है, वैसा क्यों नहीं है ना. ये पहले हो जाए तो दैट विल बी मोर इजियर. एंड दिस डिस्कशन इज ऑलवेज नेसेसरी, बट इट शुड नॉट बी टू मच. डिबेट शुड बी देयर, बट इट शुड नॉट बी टू मच. टू मच डिबेट्स होगा, दैट विल नॉट बी फ्रूटफुल, बट डिबेट विल बी गुड फॉर इट. Although efficiency of PBL is difficult to evaluate, definitely everybody will recognize that one. To evaluate is quite difficult task, especially in the junior classes it will be quite difficult. The current situation for PBL seems justified and its use is likely to increase further. आने वाले टाइम में टीचिंग स्कूल में this thing is going to dominate because we are going to get this type of students. Numbers will increasing day by day, and the recent research has shown that we will in the near future, after 30 or 40 years, we will not have the normal schools. We will have to change our schools as the special schools. पहले हम लोग के बचपन में होता था स्पेशल स्कूल होता था डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक, तो वहाँ पे that type of students are sent and their numbers are few. Now this number is increasing. The place of PBL in the curriculum. Now the syllabus formation and the curriculum building, they are considering these aspects or also. Yeah. Next one. This got it. Hybrid curricula क्या है? Hybrid, what is the meaning of hybrid? Mixing of too many types of the things. That we have the prior example of the hybrid learning. Na? This one is this. We are using the projector and the online classes, offline classes. This one is the hybrid one. Hybrid क्या होता है? कोई biology का student है, अरे sorry teacher है, हाँ student ही हो, तो they better knows the what is the advantage of hybrid is क्या? They are mixing that one to get the better result for that. हम लोगों ने बचपन में पढ़ा था पीस का है कि उससे क्या हुआ, प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज हो गया, and we are getting the quality products for that one. learning objectives. The identification of gaps in knowledge helps students to define their learning objectives, and these become the focus of self-directed study in the interval between tutorials. Classes के बीच में बच्चे डिस्कस क्या करते हैं? हाँ? Anybody's class students are discussing for their learning in between their lectures, or simply waiting that either teacher is came or not, either she is coming or not, talking to the other teacher in the veranda or something this. Most of the students are spending their time this types of talks. Nobody discuss about that. Yeah, this as Sanamis has taught this one, so these things we have to discuss that one. And if we will able to build up this thing, I think the learning will be more easy for the students. Discussion. Learning objective should be clear. That is not clear for our part also, and mainly for the students part. Clear है? Teaching objective सबका clear है. क्या evaluate करते हैं? We are evaluating us. That should be clear in order to get the better result. Objective should be clear. Again, I am giving the example of the physics practicals, chemistry practicals, biology practicals. If objective is not clear, the students will not able to perform the practical well. At each tutorial, the group might identify 3 to 5 major learnings. अगर हमसे कोई कहे तो बच्चे कहें किसी टीचर की 5 गलती निकाल लें, करते हैं, कभी किया है? Nobody has done. I have done a lot. करके देखिए.
सर निकालते हैं.
तो फिर हम सोचते हैं कि हमारी इज्जत कम हो जाती है. यार हमारी तो कौन सी इज्जत है यार? इज्जत तो सिर्फ एक की है. कभी निकलवा सकते हैं ना. इन ऑर्डर टू से मैं रिकॉर्ड क्यों करवाता हूँ? अपनी हो, क्योंकि मैं जाकर खुद देखता हूँ क्रिटिकली. आप लोग तो क्रिटिकल बताएंगे नहीं, मुझे खुद निकालना पड़ता है. तो दैट शुड ऑल्सो बी reason to improve that one, but the performance will be good if we will have the critical thinking. Critical thinking is one of the aspect for the learning one. Learning of next one. Integrating new knowledge. We are teaching only the previous knowledges are there. On that basis, students are not able to solve their coming problem. That is the drawback of the Indian curriculum. This one is only the examination are checking only their retention power. Only रट के जाओ, लिख के चले आओ 99%. But the innovative way is missing in the Indian education system. और एक recent जो है सबसे बड़ा ड्रॉबैक आ रहा है इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम से. नाउ द वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज आर नॉट एम्प्लॉइंग द इंडियंस. Previously, major portion, the CEO of the Google and the other CEOs, all the too many CEOs are the Indians one. Now they are not, because our education system is not of innovative type. New ideas are not come, because in this modern world every day we will have the new ideas. No country is based on the old ideas. They are getting the new ideas. One day we have this one, and now we have coming the Android 14. Still we are, everybody are in Android 13. Now there's some new thing is coming, the Android 14. Every 6 months, after 6 months, a new thing is coming. So either we are creating this one, our students are unable to build the softwares, too many apps. All the Western countries, students are building the apps on. A lot of apps, whatever we are having the new apps, all the will be built in a group one. The group of students, they are having given the project to build this software, to build this app, they are building that one. Now they are evaluating, on that basis assessment is done. Here the assessment basis is the old one. अब अच्छा लगा ना? थैंक यू। अब आया थैंक यू बाद में।